over to North Carolina. They're trying to return to the national semifinals after falling to Villanova in the championship game last year. Here's Joel Berry II on how that loss motivated the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at experience and, what we've been through. We want to get back to the Final Four, but they're a great team. And even though they haven't, been to this spot before, they're still coming out there, playing like it's just a regular season game. And I know there's a lot of pressure on the game because you lose, you go home. But they're still a great team, and they're playing some great basketball right now. So we just have to realize our ultimate goal and what we want to do, and then we just got to be ready to play tomorrow and just realize that tomorrow's the important game, and we'll worry about the Final Four and that stuff later on. So.
The North Carolina situation kind of reminds me of Clemson a little bit, Tim, the way they lost to Alabama in the national championship game, and that motivated them to get back to that point because you're so close, whether it was Clemson or now we're talking about North Carolina. I mean, I won't say they had that game in the bag, but it was a heartbreaking loss when Chris Jenkins hit that shot at the buzzer. What's your take on how losing in a championship game can impact the team the next year, like for the Tar Heels?
I actually think in this particular game, because they're playing Kentucky, beating Kentucky means more to them right now. This is the redemption game. Okay. Kentucky just had this against UCLA. When UCLA went down to Lexington and knocked them off, I felt like they were ready to ball. You could almost tell there was a certain energy, a certain sense of urgency that they wanted to give it to UCLA. They wanted payback. Well, same thing with North Carolina. Kentucky knocked them off. Remember, Monk went crazy in that game. This is the payback game, and I think it could be a little bit of a letdown game for the Wildcats because a lot of people had UCLA going to the Final Four. A lot of people saying Lonzo Ball is the first pick in the draft. LeVar Ball's running his mouth. I think Kentucky was like, all week, you know what we're going to do? We're going to shut up all those people from UCLA. And now a day later, it's like, oh,
we got North Carolina.
Yeah, we got Carolina waiting for us.
Yeah.
And I think Butler's had a nice run this year, really nice team. This weekend for North Carolina was all about that second game. And I can't say the same thing for Kentucky. Kentucky, I think this weekend was winning that first game. Now, can they reload the gun and kind of get ready to play? North Carolina's like, yeah, we're going to be able to handle Butler. We want that next game. We want a payback if we get Kentucky or UCLA, kind of the same reason. Yep. Shut up the ball, shut up Lonzo, tell LeVar to go take a walk. Like, I think North Carolina was looking at the second game this weekend. So I picked Carolina from the get-go. They've been my team since November. So maybe I'm also trying to will myself to victory here in my bracket. But I actually think this isn't going to be much of a game. I don't think.
Whoa. What do you mean it's not going to be much of a game? You just mentioned how Kentucky won the first time we saw Kentucky beat UCLA. I understand the letdown point, but still, they got three fabulous freshmen who are going to be NBA players. How will they? You think they're going to get blown out? Like, come on now.
I think this is going to be a double-digit game. And I think that with Theo Pinson coming back, he only averages, 5 points a game. His length and athleticism, he's going to be able to match up with Monk. So what did it take for Kentucky to win the first game? Monk had to have 47. They won by 3. They won by a basket. Last second of the game.
All right.
Like, what are you going to do for an encore?
But Justin Jackson, though, played out of his mind in that game. Justin Jackson had like 34. I think the odds of Justin Jackson balling out, scoring 30-plus in this game is probably not going to happen. Both those teams shot lights out. When you look at the field goal percentage, both were like well over 50%.
Yeah, but I think North Carolina's going to get more easy looks because besides some Bam down low for Kentucky, they don't get a whole lot of easy looks. And when you talk about North Carolina, that's all they get. I mean, they have so many big bodies, whether it is Justin Jackson getting in the lane, whether it is Kennedy Makes in the lane. I mean, they have so many guys. They just dominate. They just push you out of the way. They just shoot until they miss.
Okay.
And then you add a guy like May who's able to stretch you out and make threes. That was something with North Carolina we talked about so much last year. Can they make enough threes? Well, now that you're adding a guy who's a stretch 4, I think they dominate points in the paint. I think Adebayo's a nice pro player, obviously a great college player. I think he's going to have his hands full.
I agree with that. I just think that Coach Cal, I respect what he's able to do in his ability. He'll have these guys coached up, and he'll understand how he needs to match up. And even though it's short notice, he knows how to devise a game plan. He can take something from that first game that will allow this and make this to be a competitive game. I'm super surprised that you're saying it's going to be double digits.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that Roy Williams has an adjustment here.
You hope so.
You got to limit Monk here. If you cut off Monk and Fox, I mean, this game's over, right?
Right, but the thing is, can you really cut off both of those guys? I think that's the tough thing to do because we know Monk the first time had 47. Then we just saw De'Aaron Fox drop 39. You can take away one, but I don't know if you can take away both.
I think for Kentucky to win this game, both those guys have to be outstanding. I mean, combined for 40, 50 points each. Where on the flip side, I think North Carolina could just play its normal game. North Carolina doesn't need any guys to go crazy. They just got to go out there and execute and play their regular style of basketball. The flip side, I think Kentucky needs to be exceptional, just like they were in the first game. They were exceptional. Monk had 47, so they went out and won. If that happens again, if Monk goes out there and gets 47, I'll tell you this right now, Kentucky's going to win the game. But I have a hard time believing that he's going to be able to get that, especially after the first performance, especially that Pinson's back, especially they're going to be trying to key on him. I don't think this is going to be that much of a game.
I disagree. We'll have to see. I'll be here tomorrow. You'll be here tomorrow. I think we're going to get a classic. Either way, Oregon awaits the winner. We'll see how that one all plays out.